Hello Game of Thrones freaks and geeks, and welcome to this special episode of The Word from Westeros, exclusively produced for AllGeekToMeTV. I am Kait Calabro, this is my show, and we are finally hours away from the Season 6 premiere of Game of Thrones, so I decided what better way to celebrate than doing a little Season 5 refresher. I am going to try to do this little Season 5 refresher in 2 minutes or less, but if any of you have watched any of my past refreshers, the Season 4 refresher for Game of Thrones, as well as more recently my Outlander refresher, we kind of know that I don't do very well with a time limit, so I'm going to try my best to keep it to 2 minutes or less. With that being said, I'm only going to cover what happened to like major Game of Thrones characters, so if you're looking for like a Podrick refresher, it's probably not going to be in here. I'm sorry, I could spend hours doing this. I mean, you guys, if you watched my breakdown of the Season 6 trailer, I spent 15 minutes talking about a 2 minute and 30 seconds trailer, so I mean, I'm trying here. I'm trying to save you all some time. So you can go like rewatch as many episodes of Season 5 as possible before Season 6. So without that being said, here we go. Let's try to do this in a timely manner. No promises though. Arya Stark makes it to the House of Black and White, where she is trained by the Faceless Man to become no one. But Arya couldn't resist checking a person off her kill list, which leads to a disappointed Faceless Man who then turns Arya blind. Cersei Lannister has a pretty rough season because she gives so much power to the High Sparrow, which leads to her being imprisoned and then doing a walk of shame back to the castle. But her walk of shame ends with her in the arms of a Franken mountain. Jaime Lannister heads off to Dorne to bring back a very alive Myrcella. One problem that occurs for Jaime is that Myrcella dies. Tyrion Lannister escapes King's Landing as well as the fighting pits, only to win over Daenerys Targaryen and become her advisor. And when Daenerys Targaryen rides off on one of her dragons and goes MIA, it leads everyone to decide that Tyrion is now in charge of the city of Meereen. Sansa probably had one of the roughest seasons for anyone. She always has a pretty bad time. Sansa, she finally escapes the Lannisters and makes her way back home to Winterfell, only to have to marry Ramsay Bolton. She then finds out through Reek that both Bran and Rickon are actually still alive, and then he lied about killing the Stark boys, and Reek and Sansa actually escape Winterfell and Ramsay. Daenerys Targaryen has another rough season because it's not easy being a queen of a city filled with crazy people, and the Son of Harpy are posing a really big problem for her, and they keep attacking and killing people, and this happens at a public event that she's at, and they attack and they kill a bunch of people, and her rogue dragon comes in and saves her, and she rides off only to be picked up by a herd of Dothraki. And then finally Jon Snow. At this point, we kind of all know what happens to Jon Snow. He becomes Lord Commander, he tries to make an alliance with the wildlings, and a lot of the brothers don't like it, which ends with him being stabbed to death. And that's how Season 5 ends. For some honorable mentions for Season 5, Lord Friendzone gets grayscale when he is on his journey back to Daenerys with Tyrion. Stannis burns his daughter alive because the Red Lady tells him to do it. But that's okay because Bran of Tarth kills Stannis in battle to get back at what he did to Ramsay. Marjorie has been in jail for episodes at this point. We have no idea. We have not seen her in a very long time because she will not confess, and her brother's actually in jail too, for being, you know, having relationships with boys. And I guess the only silver lining from Season 5 would be that Sam finally has sex with Gilly. So Sam always makes it out okay, Sam. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, and I went over at least a minute or so. You can't really see my phone, but yeah. I went over 3 minutes, but you guys got the gist. I did that pretty fast, considering. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of The Word from Westeros. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to AllGeekToMeTV on YouTube so you can catch weekly recaps of Game of Thrones Season 6 as well as check out our other cool geeky content that we post up on the page. You can follow me on Twitter at Kait Calabro for up to the minute information about Game of Thrones and just see what else I do with my life. Game of Thrones returns this Sunday, April 24th at 9 p.m. on HBO. And until next time, remember, you either win or you die.